Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Shadow Vibes. I'm your host, Sir Leader. My past couple of episodes were a series of 3 regarding building your very first custom PC. In today's video, we will discuss the final aspects to testing and running your PC. Plus, I wanted to show off my finished product and talk about the joys of cable management. So, without further ado, let's get started. In my previous video, we ended with all components being hooked up to the motherboard and the power supply. To ensure that everything is hooked up correctly, you'll want to test it next. First, you must connect the back of the power supply to a wall outlet. Additionally, you should connect a monitor to the output located on the back of the graphics card. For me, I used an HDMI cord. Next, simply hit the power button and wait for a single beep while watching for a logo to pop up on your monitor. If these things happen, it worked and you're ready for the next step. If these things don't happen, it failed and it's time to troubleshoot your cable connections. Please reference my previous video for guidance. After you have successfully built your PC and tested it to ensure that when powering on, the logo of the motherboard pops up onto the screen, the next step is downloading the operating system. For my build and how I operate, since I already had a PC with an existing Windows 10 operating system, I decided to go ahead and transfer my account to keep from having to pay for another device license. However, this still required 2 things. 1, my login information for my Microsoft account, and 2, a downloaded copy of Windows 10 onto a USB flash drive. To download Windows 10 onto your USB flash drive or thumb drive, you're going to need to use another computer that has access to the internet. I wanted to show you a couple of sites to help guide you through the process, so I'm currently recording my desktop screen using the same software that I use when I stream on my Twitch channel. Side note, for those interested in catching me live on Twitch, I stream Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. The link to my channel is in the description below. If you need to purchase a new license for Windows 10, simply go to Microsoft.com. Once there, scroll down, you'll see Shop Windows 10. Click on it. Once that pops up, you can then choose which Windows 10 you're wanting, Windows 10 Home, Pro, or Pro for Workstations. Since this is a custom computer, I assume it's going to be one of these 2 for you. Just select which one you want, shop for it. Just make sure whenever you're going through the process that you end up downloading the operating system onto your USB drive. If you own Windows 10 already and you're simply wanting to migrate your license over, it's not that easy to find the operating system on Microsoft's site. So try this approach instead. Visit Google and type in download Windows 10 for free. The top result should come from Microsoft.com and it talks about downloading Windows 10 disk image. Click on that link and that's going to take you to something that it's a faster result. So once you show up here, scroll down to create Windows 10 installation media. That's what you're looking for. Now this right here, it talks about USB flash drive. You can open that up and it just kind of helps you better understand what you're about to do. But just make sure your USB flash drive is plugged into the computer and then start the download tool now. Follow those steps when prompted and you should be good to go with downloading the software. It does warn you that you're going to need a product key, and the one you last used on your older PC should work just fine. Side note, Windows 8, the catastrophe that took place with that, they gave free upgrades to Windows 10. So whenever I upgraded to Windows 10 from Windows 8, I used the product key from Windows 8 and it worked just fine. So little hint there for you guys that might have the older software. The product key will work whenever you try to upgrade to 10. There should be no penalty with that. Now, after you have downloaded the operating system onto your flash drive, follow these steps. Connect the USB flash drive to your new PC. Then start up the computer. Right here it mentions turn on the PC and press the key that opens the boot device selection menu for the computer, such as Escape, F10, or F12 keys. Typically it's F10 or F12. It depends on your motherboard on what it will end up saying when it's on startup. just look for the screen that has all the options down at the bottom that pop up. They usually pop up the same time the computer beeps. When that screen pops up, start hitting the button that says boot up or boot. Hit that button as fast as you can, as many times as possible, until the screen goes on to the next side. If it doesn't go to the boot up menu, then you're going to need to turn the computer off and turn it back on and try it again. But once you get there, it says select the option that boots the PC from the USB flash drive. So when you get to that boot up screen and it gives you the option, select the USB drive and then start. From there, it's going to go through the entire startup process for Windows downloading. It's going to turn the computer on and off multiple times. It's going to prompt you through different options. And the whole process can take a couple hours max to get things done. But in the end result, once your computer is up and running, you've chosen all your profile specifics that you want, and the computer is on and done, and you can now access the internet. From there, just come down to the bottom of your screen and click this little arrow, and you'll see something that says safely remove your hardware and eject media. Click it, and you'll have a USB option on something you can eject. Now, I have like a Nikon D5100. I have a flash drive or a SD card on there right now. I can hit that eject. For your USB device, you'll see the option, click it, and it says safe to remove hardware, at which point you can then remove the USB and you're done. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to show you guys the end result of my custom built PC. Not only will you see all the components previously mentioned in my first video, I'm going to show you guys what this machine looks like mounted and lit up. Let's check it out. I love my new PC and the way the setup turned out. As you may have noticed, I mounted my PC to the wall using a TV wall mount. The case is built for it. I also installed magnetic black lights inside my case to create that pop factor for any UV reactive items, such as my blue SATA cable. The pulsing and scrolling lights that you saw were controlled by the Asus AuraSync and Corsair's IQ software. The blue and white lights were of my choosing. They complemented the case. I also want to point out my black and white cables. I mentioned in my previous video that I'd be swapping out the cables that go to my motherboard and my graphics card. Well, that's just what I did. I went to Amazon and I purchased a power supply extension cable kit. The brand is Asia Horse, and I think they look terrific. Now, if black and white isn't your color, that's okay. They offer an assortment of options to choose from. The kits also come with clips to help keep your cables flat and organized. My clips came in black and clear. This brings me to my last topic, cable management. And wow, did this build have a lot to do with that. More than I've ever had to do before. However, I did all that because I wanted to be able to display my art in this room. My primary method to cable management was zip ties. Inside the case, small zip ties were used in order to pull tight excess cable, keeping them organized and helping me find wires easily. The exterior wires, like the HDMI cords, the USB and auxiliary cables, even the Ethernet cable, they all need to look presentable since my PC was installed 7 feet away from a power outlet and 3 feet away from my desk. I had to purchase 10-foot cables for everything. Then I began using zip ties and 1-inch wall mounting bases to help guide the cables along a path. This unique use of zip ties looked way better in my opinion. However, it required 10 times the amount of zip ties and about 4 times the amount of work. Please take that into consideration before you attempt this project. In the end, I have a sweet setup that I'm happy with, and the computer has handled my workload of streaming, video editing, and video gaming with ease. If there's anything that I would add though, it'd be probably an extra SSD card. My video editing has taken up a lot more space than anticipated. I also plan to upgrade my monitors, which are 9 years old. Not on the budget at this time, but hopefully soon. This concludes my 3-part series on building your very first custom PC. My intent was to help those who are new to the hobby feel like this is completely doable. I purposefully kept this series simplified to avoid overwhelming others. If you liked this series or found the information useful, take a second of your time to hit that subscribe button. Also, if there's a hobby you're interested in, but something has been holding you back, check out my channel. And in the discussion board, tell me what that hobby is. I'm curious. My next video might just be about that hobby. Anyways, you've been watching Shadow Vibes. If you want to catch me live, visit my Twitch channel. Link is in the description below. Lastly, remember, whatever it is you're doing in life, have fun. You got this. Later, guys.